go.
Hey, this is Kevin, Big Bear Performance. Working on a new project right now, R&D and suspension for the new Pan American. This is a Showa fork built by Showa, 47mm, which is something new, being 47mm, because Harley typically uses 39mm, 41mm, 49mm, etc., etc. 43mm on the low rider S's. This is 47. So, which is good news. It's a large diameter fork, and we're going to develop a cartridge kit for it. What the bike currently uses is a new technology out by Showa, EERA. It's a electronically controlled suspension using electromagnetic technology, and I'll show you here in a minute how it works for the dampening process. But it's not really cutting the mustard, so to speak. It really, the bike's got a lot of movement at 100 miles an hour in a sweeper, and we can fix that. We can definitely fix that. A lot of other companies that have dual sports have electronically controlled suspension, but typically what they'll do is actually use a traditional suspension system like an Olin suspension, or the suspension like what we're making, and then add a servo to the top of the fork to control dampening, to open dampening up or close dampening down, or preloads, and etc. BMW does exactly that, and a lot of BMWs and Aprilias and all the brands across Europe use Olins, and some of them, like BMW, actually manufacture their own suspension, but of course it's at a very high standard. This suspension here is not. That's definitely not up to par. So we can fix that. We can fix that, and we're going to fix it. So let's go take a look at this electromagnetic suspension dampening system. So here it is here. This is the compression side, and you see this wire comes in here, and there's two electrodes in the top that go to this tube here, which is a special composite material that conducts electricity, that actually will basically magnetize between the aluminum tube and this composite tube and slow down dampening. It's like it'll actually control dampening just with electricity. Now down in here is just basically, there's also a valve in here, but it's just a wear band for the rod, and there's actually no valve in there, it's just a hole. So the whole dampening on the compression side is done with this composite tube that obviously has electrical conductors inside of it, mixed in material to control the dampening here against this aluminum tube. And it's based, I'm sure it's just based off wheel speed. Wheel speed sensors will pick up how fast the bike's going, and you got to select your mode, off-road or on-road, so then it would have probably a different map or graph, or the amount of electricity that it would send to these tubes to control dampening. Now on the rebound side, it has the same thing, but of course you can see that it's a lot more heavy duty. Let me just take this apart. You can actually see that same material that we have over here. For the rebound is always, it has to be a lot stronger than compression, because rebound is always trying to control all of that energy built up in both springs, which is a lot more than what you have as far as compression. And you can see the electrical wires inside this composite, the copper wires right in there, and that's what's putting that electricity back down in there through the top here. You can see that material right in there, and the electrodes are in there. And again, it's controlling the dampening here on rebound. It also has a piston in there with shim stacks on it. Here's the shims. Down at the bottom inside this tube, on the end here, this is where this piston went. inside this aluminum tube. And that also has rebound and compression on the same piston. And so that's the only piston inside the front suspension, is this little one here. This is our 32 millimeter piston. Of course, we run two of these, one on each side, one for compression, one for rebound. And at the base of this compression side is another valve. There's just letting oil bypass or not letting oil bypass on how harsh they want the compression side to be. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is this is like real fancy technology. It's great technology, whatever. But it just doesn't work as good as this. It just doesn't. If it did, we wouldn't have the wallowing and wobbles in the corners that it has, which kind of sucks. So, but good news is we can fix it. Once we've finished doing the front suspension here in the next couple of weeks, I'll do the testing, dyno testing, road testing, durability testing, then we'll attack a rear suspension for it. But I'd say the front suspension is probably going to fix 90% of what's wrong. But it's a fun project. Thought you guys might like to see how this stuff actually works. It's pretty neat. New technology from Showa. Nah.